prepare for what I'm going to bring to the table, and I'm just too sharp, too clean, punch way too hard, power in both hands.
It was streaming. I just shut the curtains because I was like nervous type stuff. But now it's like I embrace it because I always dreamed of this. That's why I don't never shy away from it. That's what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? To show out. So.
Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
In their heated face-to-face interview, Jake Paul speaks with unshakable belief in his evolution as a boxer. He declares that his years of athletic discipline and relentless drive have prepared him for this very moment to face and defeat Gervonta, Tank Davis, in brutal fashion. He insists he is ready stronger than ever and unwilling to hesitate when the bell rings. Davis, calm yet confident, fires back with quiet dominance. He reminds Jake that he possesses the full package power, precision, experience, and a ring IQ that few in the sport can match. To him, this is not just another fight. It is a reminder of why he is considered one of boxing's most dangerous men.
Capable of, I know what I've learned in the past year with my new coaches, the shape I'm in, the power I possess, and I'm just...
Gervonta Davis embodies everything that defines a world-class fighter. His punches carry explosive power in both hands, his timing is razor-sharp, and his footwork gives him command over every inch of the ring. Davis reads opponents like a book predicting their next move before they even react. His defense, tight and intelligent, often turns offense into opportunity. To Tank, boxing is more than brute strength. It is art and calculation. He knows he is not just a puncher. He is a complete fighter molded by years of dedication and pain, driven by an unbroken will to remain one of the best in the world.
Fight. His training is taking a toll, but the cure is just as bitter as what ails him.
How long I gotta do it? 5 minutes?
5 will be good enough for you.
They definitely went to the kids store and get it.
That water ain't cold.
We know that.
I know, but...
Get in the water, man. Just get in the water.
You can't sit on the edge.
Man, just get in there, man.
Go. No, give me the time.
The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis showdown has ignited a storm of debate across the boxing community. It is a collision of two very different worlds, one built on raw power and physical size, the other on elite skill, lightning reflexes, and technical mastery. Jake Paul steps into the ring with a clear weight advantage, taller, broader, and stronger. Yet that means nothing if not used with precision. Meanwhile, Davis' edge lies in everything that cannot be taught overnight: instinct, rhythm, and the kind of timing that only a lifetime in the sport can create. This is not just a fight, it is a test of strength versus science, power versus perfection.
I believe he spars people that are much heavier than him. And, man, that uppercut, damn.
Well, who do you got?
I would have to bet on Gervonta because for all the little things, all that, and the fact that he's not old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he makes up for the weight situation.
Okay, so this is the first time that Jake Paul's fighting an actual boxing champion, an active, young boxing champion. Everyone else he's fought was either way older or like, was it Tommy Fury, I think?
Yeah, he was a legitimate boxer. Yeah.
A legitimate boxer, but not a champion.
Right.
He's fighting a champion, although a very little champion compared to him.
Yes.
So this is sort of a, I don't know, man, like.
If it wasn't Gervonta Davis, it was somebody else in that weight category.
It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. But Gervonta, I mean, technique-wise and heart-wise, that makes it interesting. Like, again, kudos goes to Jake Paul because it kind of worked its way up, even though the guy is so much smaller.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm happy that Jake is bringing excitement to the sport and so forth, but you just have these, like, people fighting bears and, you know, there might be a boxing match with a weapon involved of some sort. Like, people have sticks. Like, I feel it's just getting more and more ridiculous. And really, outside of Crawford Canelo, there's really very little excitement over pure boxing.
Analysts are united on one thing. Jake Paul has never faced a fighter of Gervonta Davis. Caliber Tank's resume is filled with world champions, undefeated warriors, and knockout specialists, men who came with reach, power, and hype. He conquered them all. Even Jake himself admits that Tank is a different breed. He has acknowledged in interviews that this fight demands his absolute best, that his usual approach will not work here, that humility may be his smartest move yet. It proves Jake understands. The storm coming his way, and that against someone like Davis, one mistake could end everything.
Toughest fight, he's undefeated, highly skilled, most experienced fighter I've fought, top 5, pound for pound. So I have to have the best version of myself. I know how fast he is. I know how strong he is. I believe I'm stronger, more athletic, and that's my advantage going into the fight, but he pretty much has every other advantage. So I'm locked in, fully focused, feeling amazing already, and just going to put on a performance and have the biggest fight of 2025.
Last one, I've seen some people say, oh, Jake, the goal here is just to survive, knowing you that's not the case. You're not going in there to get through 12 rounds with Tank Davis. I would imagine you're going in there to win this fight.
Oh, absolutely. Tank's going to be the one surviving. I'm going to, upset a lot of people. And again, they're going to have to say that there's some crazy excuse, fights are rigged. They can't use the steroid excuse because we have full-on random drug testing at any time. They could literally knock on my door right now. So they can't use that excuse. And obviously I'm suing people who say that the fights are rigged. Piers Morgan already had to retract his statement and kiss the ring. More lawsuits are coming for these people who are lying on my name because it's just simply not true. And we're willing to prove that in court. But I'm actually flattered that the only thing that people can chalk up these wins to is that the fights are rigged, because it's honestly the greatest compliment. But again, I'm going to knock this guy out and probably create one of the most viral.
Public reaction to this matchup has been divided. Many traditional boxing fans argue it is a spectacle, not a legitimate contest, that Davis should be facing elite contenders instead of a crossover star. Yet curiosity keeps people watching. The buzz, the attention, the spectacle, all eyes remain glued to it. Whether fans love or hate Jake Paul, they are intrigued. This fight might not settle the sport's deepest questions, but it is guaranteed to dominate headlines, stir debate, and capture millions of views. It is the kind of event that defines the modern era, half sport, half entertainment, fully unmissable.
Was at cruiserweight. Chavez Jr. was a former world champion at middleweight himself, and that sort of made sense. And it was a good win for Jake Paul. He come out there and he beats an ex-world champion. He gets a little bit of credibility, and you go, right, now you're heading in the right direction. You're starting to be, okay, all right, former champions, former fighters, but at least they're boxers. They're not MMA stars, and whatnot. So, yeah, I think that was a move in the right direction. Gervonta Davis is just a little bit of a freak show for me.
Yeah, I agree, Spence. I mean, the size difference is a bit of an annoying one as well. But also as well, I hate when they put exhibition in it, because then you think how seriously they're really going to take it. I understand it because of the money involved, but realistically, if there can be a winner, Gervonta Davis should take him out, regardless of the size, pretty easily and pretty quickly.
I agree, mate. Totally agree. Gervonta Davis is an active fighter. Like I say, still a pound-for-pound star. Very heavy-handed as well. He should have the movement, forget the size, to be able to slip inside and take Jake Paul out. That's the reality of it. But, yeah, I just find it all very, very strange. Look, I thought an even stranger fight, to be honest, was Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. You look at that fight and go, who's going to sanction that? God forbid something happens to Jake. I think that what he's doing for the sport is brilliant in his own right. He's bringing new fans into the sport. He's doing excellent for women's boxing as well. You can't take that away from the kid. And he's been working hard as well. And he's improving. But going in against Anthony Joshua, a former 2-time world heavyweight champion and still an active fighter, that's a suicide mission for me. I think that Anthony Joshua, and you look at Francis Ngannou, and look at what AJ does to Francis Ngannou, who would win out of Anthony Joshua?
Former UFC fighter Mike Perry did not hold back his thoughts. He noted that Tank has not delivered as many explosive knockouts lately as he once did. A comment less about doubt and more about expectation. Fans have grown accustomed to seeing Davis end fights in spectacular fashion. That reputation brings pressure against a bigger opponent like Jake. That pressure only intensifies. The question now is whether Davis can still deliver those unforgettable moments against someone built to absorb. More punishment.
Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, I mean, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, you know, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80.
Respected boxing analyst Teddy Atlas also weighed in calling Davis one of the most complete fighters of this generation. Atlas praised Tank's adaptability, accuracy, and composure qualities that make him lethal at any range. He argued that Jake's size advantage would fade quickly. Once skill takes over, Atlas explained that technique, timing, and experience can dismantle brute force, especially when the skill gap is this wide. Tank has fought every type of fighter, brawlers, counterpunchers, technicians. And he has beaten them all. Atlas predicts that when the bell rings, fans will see the difference between someone learning the sport and someone born for it.
One guy who, yeah, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter, he can punch. And he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling it. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're going to find out if he can dance. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, do the cha-cha. That's what's going to sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else. They just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that. It's safer to do that. You don't have to bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that. But I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life. I don't care. But that's true. That what if. What if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him? Or he jumps up in the air. Bang! And he hits him. Sid Terrace was a great fighter. No, not the 1700s, but years ago. And Cus D'Amato told me he loved Sid Terrace. He said, Teddy, he used to jump up in the air and hit you with 3 jabs. I said, whoa, man, Sid Terrace. All right. Anyway, look, I can't finish without saying that it did invoke some memories and thoughts that we've been here before in a different way, where Jake Paul's brother fought Mayweather. That's not forget. And I'm not saying I like that either. I mean, first of all, Mayweather was past his prime. He was already retired. He was older, everything, but he's still the great Mayweather. And Mayweather was fighting a guy, what was it, 50-pound difference, 60-pound difference, whatever it was. And that size made a difference. It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter. Who's mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense. So, yeah, it's kind of like we've seen this already in that version of it, and we didn't really like it. I don't think I liked it that much.
Former opponent Rolando Raleigh, Romero also gave Tank his flowers. He reminded fans that Davis has faced and beaten men much larger than Jake Paul. Size, he says, has never scared Tank. He has proven time and again that his power carries through weight. Classes breaking opponents who thought their physicality would save them, Romero believes that no matter the size difference or spectacle surrounding this fight, Gervonta's experience, composure, and ring IQ will guide him to victory once again.
Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were, to beat him or even, knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
You know, some people trying to give, that's fair. Some people trying to give Tank a hard time. They're saying like he should have took a fight with Lamont Roach or Shakur Stevenson. But when you think about it, do you think this is business and look, he's getting a bag, or is there some validity to people saying that he ducked Roach?
I mean, there's still other options, you know? It's like, bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong.
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, me personally, it don't matter what my opinion is, but I don't think get the money while you can get the money is my opinion. But you know, some fans are gonna have a hard time.
It's not
with
even about the money though, man. It's like regardless of anything, like yeah, get the money when you can get the money, but it's not even about the money. There's so much more to this sport in this world than just money, man. It's just do whatever you feel beneficial.
Yet amid all the hype talk of Tank's future has begun to surface. Some close to him suggest this could be his final fight. After years of titles, sold-out arenas, and global fame, Davis may be looking for peace, a chance to enjoy the rewards of a life spent in battle. He has spoken about family stability and stepping away at the top. If that is true, this fight takes on deeper meaning. It is no longer just about proving dominance. It is about closing a chapter, leaving the ring with his legacy sealed and his spirit intact.
But you make it. Again, there's nothing wrong with Tank going to get his money, but let's all be clear that that's all the fight is for Tank. He's telling you without telling you that he's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million. So when we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, oh, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing, for sure. On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. So maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with you soft ass. You rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. He says, the people got your chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, wanna be Kevin Gates? Oh, my goodness. I mean, here's the thing, though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur's a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline because you won't fight him. What does that say about Tank? If you talk all that stuff, you better want...
Analyst Max Kellerman echoed that sentiment, suggesting Davis took this fight not just for competition, but for closure and reward. Facing Jake Paul offers a massive payday, global exposure, and the freedom to walk away on his terms. No mandatory defenses, no politics, just one grand spectacle to cap off a legendary career. Every expert agrees this fight will hinge on rhythm and control. If Jake can push Tank backward and make him fight off the ropes, he might find moments of success. But if Davis closes, the distance establishes his speed and takes command, Jake will be forced into chaos, and chaos is where Gervonta Davis thrives, because in the ring, panic is not an emotion, it is a mistake, and Tank Davis has made a career out of punishing mistakes.
Gervonta, who I personally think has been checked out for way longer than this last fight. I think he was checked out prior to the Roach fight. I thought this was all going to be in the works, where he was supposed to beat the 16-1 Roach and then go on to fight Jake Paul and then call it a career, because I think the people around him understood there wasn't much left in the Tank for him in terms of his want or his desire to be here. He did an interview with Dan Canobio about 18 months ago where he was like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left of boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but like, I don't want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing has been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight. I'm like, there's no way we see that rematch. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul.
That's for today video. Subscribe for more.